disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Flixx, Kicks, and Flixx, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Making a return this week is the unofficial fifth member of the podcast, the big sushi himself. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be back, man. This is gonna be fun.
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are all members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, we have CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. On Wednesdays, it's us, Flixx, Kicks, and Flixx with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
So I purposely was not looking at the screen doing my intro there, man, because I didn't want Angel to make me laugh, and I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? How was your weekend?
Great.
I had a busy week, man.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, things line up where everything happens at once. So I had my wedding anniversary on the 5th, and then my birthday and Mother's Day on Sunday. So it was just a crazy week. I kind of celebrated Mother's Day more on Saturday for my wife. So then, we wouldn't have to be crazy on Sunday, even though we still celebrated everyone. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Oh, yeah. Once again, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Member of the 40/40 Club.
Yep.
We're the only two members of the club on this podcast tonight, though, I think.
Yep.
I'm not there yet. A couple more years.
I'm telling you, man, I almost did not do the video for you, though. And only because when your wife sent me the link, like, I didn't know that was her. I didn't know if it was a scam. I didn't know. I didn't know if my account was going to get taken over, and next thing you know, everybody's going to start getting Facebook notifications from me talking about I'm passing out $1,400. just type FEMA. That's right. So I seen it. I had to wait a little bit, Joe, before I went ahead and filled that out and sent it. Then I was thinking, like, man, what am I supposed to say? Like, I gotta think of something. I can't look at Angel right now, pretending to be Michelangelo. But I had to think about what to say. Then I said, you know what, skip it. I'm just gonna wing it. So
Yeah, it was good, man. You did a good job. It was fun.
Angel Bugs, how was your weekend, man?
Oh, I had the best weekend out of anybody.
Oh yeah, all right, that's cool. I ain't gonna argue with you.
Well, okay, fine then.
Hey, listen, I had the best weekend. One, I felt so honored that I was asked to make a video for Joe. I ended up throwing in "He's the best around" in there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
No, I did it just. No, I'm just saying, Gene. In all seriousness, I gave him a heartfelt message, and then I played the best around, just hyped up, right? But nah, in all seriousness, man, I'm still on cloud nine. My baby nephew was born, so I'm just
all right. Congratulations,
awesome.
Amazing. It's actually funny. I was actually just over there taking care of him right before I got over here. So yeah, he's awesome. It's just crazy to see another being. I mean, you guys know, it's just different. So yeah,
when did he come? Because I know you talked about this last week when you were getting ready for him to come and you were waiting around. So what day did he show up?
So we talked on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
Was that Cinco de Mayo or no?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
He was born on Cinco de Mayo. That's what I can say.
Okay.
So he my brother's wife, she ended up going into like labor, like late Monday, but she was in labor for like 26 hours. And then finally, they like did a C-section, and he came on Cinco de Mayo. We were hoping he would be on the 4th, so we could say May the 4th be with you. So now he's like Cinco de Mayo, so we have like a little Mexican baby. So we're gonna be.
He gonna be partying when he gets older.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's funny. So let me just tell y'all a quick story. This is gonna be, you guys are gonna laugh. I go over there right now. He's only 6 days old, and he's hungry. So my brother's wife, she's like getting his like meal prepared, like the formula and all that stuff. So I'm sitting with him. He's crying, and I got over and I got him to just chill out, and I'm just talking with him. And I don't care if you're 6 days old or you're 60 years old. I'm gonna talk to you like you're an adult. So I'm just sitting there like, you okay? Like, you all right? Okay, Poppy, you're all good. So finally, it's kind of like boring, and I go, this is a great time to show you some karate videos. So I showed him Kevin Thompson versus Billy Beeson, and I said, this is a great. And I started doing a film study, talking to him like, I was like, see, now he cuts the back angle. That's what we're gonna have you do. We're gonna have you move in angles. Then I show him, get this, Jeff. I show him Pedro Xavier versus Kevin Thompson. He didn't want to see a kicker.
He didn't see it. He didn't, what the heck?
He started doing this and fussing, and I'm like, okay, all right. So then I look and I go, just like your dad, you're just gonna punch, man. This is gonna be rough. I was like, but it's okay. We'll break you out of that. But yeah, he's awesome. Honestly, it's fun to spend time with him and just be around.
Awesome, man.
That's cool, man.
That's great. That's just how my weekend was. Mother's Day was good. Spent it with my mom, and then now that the baby's here, it just felt good to have the whole family there.
That's sweet. What about you, Jeff? How was your weekend, man?
Man, it was great. I got to spend some quality time with my girlfriend, and had some, like, the kids had several different games. Like, all of them are doing soccer right now, so that soccer games I went to. I got to visit my mom. She had knee replacement surgery last week or whatever, like last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago, and so her birthday was last weekend on Sunday, and then Mother's Day is the next Sunday. So it's always crazy for me. It's always just like,
something to do.
Yeah, trying to remember it all and make sure, getting the time. But she's just hadn't been able to leave the house or anything. She's been in a lot of pain. So just, getting over there and visiting her. And so that was fun. And, doing stuff with Cry School and all that. So it's been a good time.
That's cool, man. Yeah, man. My mom's in Florida. If you listen to CTE, Trav spoke about that. So I pretty much did what he did. I gave her a call and spoke to her for about an hour on Sunday. And other than that, man, I was just around here, chilled out. I had stuff to do for work. The karate school is really busy. Yeah. I had a crazy month last month. I had 30 signups last month.
Wow. Dang, good job, man.
Awesome. And so I just been extremely busy. And I've been preparing to leave one of these jobs that I have. So I'm just waiting to next week to put that notice in. Yeah, go ahead, Angel.
Are you gonna take the job in Texas?
No, not that job. No, not job. I thought about it, man, but I can't leave Detroit. Like, I'm stuck in Detroit. Like, I can't leave my son here in Detroit. You know what I mean? And so and I most definitely am not going to move away and take him and his mother with me, and I don't think my girl gonna go for that. So, so I'm pretty much just stuck here in Michigan until he's at least 18 or go to college or something. But Detroit, Detroit's really not that bad, man. It's not as bad as people think it is. Every city, every state has its bad areas, and you should avoid those particular areas, and quite honestly, I don't care what nobody says. Me and Joe do not have to worry about hurricanes.
Nope.
We barely have to worry about
No
tornadoes.
hurricanes, no earthquakes.
Yeah, we really don't have to worry about those things. You know, we're gonna have some cold weather. You know, we deal with it and then we move on. You know, I don't have to worry about snow bringing down my house. I don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen. You know, I might get snowed in, but you know what? I'll be like, okay, cool. I get to spend the day at home. You know,
There you go.
So I honestly I have this theory that like cold weather is good for you. Like in terms of like a psychological standpoint.
Oh, it is. It is.
I feel like it makes you tougher, makes you harder. And if you ever notice, like most people that come out of like colder area states, they're always known for having like some type of like gritty attitude. And I think that I feel like the cold area, honestly, man, it builds character out of you. It really does. Like I've always had that thought process. Always.
Oh yeah, it's healthy for you as well.
Yeah, I feel that.
All kinds of studying and everything. You know, Wim Hof and all those guys that get in the ice water and stuff for hours. And,
oh yeah, man,
he did a horse stance outside in the snow for 4 hours, staying in a horse stance with just shorts on and no shirt.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Who did that?
This guy named Wim Hof. He's called the Iceman.
Why?
Yeah, because
Why?
It's healthy. You know, he's trying to find ways to make himself stronger. So you have
Right.
to look him up. He's pretty interesting.
I'll look them up, man. It's just like that type of extreme stuff. I just never got into.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I understand.
My instructor in New York, when I used to go, and I mean, I'm talking about I was like 13. He used to make the whole black belt class. Like we used to warm up. We used to have to run to the park down the street barefoot in the snow and run back. And when I was like 13, he had me doing that like at a young age. So to me, like whenever my kids they ever see me like walk outside in the snow, they're like, "Oh my God, your feet don't hurt." I'm like, "Nah, it's training snow. Snow. You don't know about that yet."
All right, let's get into the movie. You guys ready?
Oh yeah,
We're ready. Let's do it.
All right, so Jeff, who are the sport martial arts people that are in this movie? Because we talked last week and we said that there has to be a lot of them. And
there are a lot. So we have Stephen Ho, who was Donatello. We have Ho Sung and Ho Young Pak. Now, both of them kind of switched different ones and played like they kind of went through and did several different of the turtles throughout the time. Like say if one couldn't do it or one didn't want to do a certain thing. That's probably why you saw, like Ho Young in the Donatello suit because he kind of played several different ones, right?
Okay.
And then we have Larry Lamb. Larry Lamb was on Paul Mitchell. He was Leonardo. So those are the main four that most people know. Of course, Ernie Reyes Jr. There is another guy. How did I just forget it? I was looking it up. David Wald. And so he, I saw several demos him and Stephen Ho did together in the early 90s. They did certain things for Karate Helps Kick Diabetes and stuff. So he was one. Also, the guy who played Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat video game, the first one, he was a foot soldier. And what's funny is I didn't know until the other day when I looked it up that the guy who I'm friends with, but he also was the promoter of the first tournament I ever went to. His name's Hamilton Perkins. He was the guy for Razor.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I didn't even know he was in the movies until I just kind of found that out. So there's lots of things like that. I even found that Michael J. White was in this movie somehow.
Oh wow!
Really?
Well, I don't know if it's true or not. I was looking through this looking it up, and it's on like IMDb and Wikipedia. Something like he was in the concert or one of the guys in the concert. So we need to go back and look at that.
He's never talked about that.
I don't know. It shows up on his thing, but I don't know.
It could be a possibility because this is before he was big.
Right.
So he was not known at this time. This movie came out in 91. He hadn't done anything at that time. I know he did the Mike. The first thing I ever saw him do was the Mike Tyson movie. Now I don't know what he did before that.
He did so. All right, so like I know he did little roles before that. Tyson was his breakout, and then after Tyson, Jeff, correct me if I'm right, he did Universal Soldier and then Spawn. that's how he like got himself, built himself up that way.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying I never heard him ever talk about it was because if I'm correct, at this time he would have still have been doing some type of competitions at some point.
Mm-hmm. It's 91. It's
91. He was, something like that.
Wasn't he like late 80s, like 89, 88, 89 was when he was like really like doing competition?
He was competing, yeah. I mean, I know he was competing around with Conroy and stuff, and he's from that area. So
well, so I say this because Michael Jai White is one. He's from my hometown of Bridgeport, Connecticut, but then he's from my karate school. Like he's like one of my instructor's students. So I never ever heard
that. Yeah. So I don't know. That's why it was a surprise to me too. I just saw it on there. I was like, all right.
So you can find out the answer to that question though.
I've
watch and see. You gotta talk to him.
I've trained with him. I've trained with him a few times, and I've talked to him. His son went to the same college as me, and he knew I was like the captain of the karate team when I was at college. So he always, I had a good relationship, and then like Jeff, as you said, through Coach, he always did a seminar at Coach's school in East Haven. So I used to always go there also. Yeah, but
But yeah, man. So there's lots of people, and probably other ones that aren't even mentioned on there. I told Angel last week, there were several different local martial artists just in my area that were foot soldiers and things like that. So
was Larry Lamb in the first one?
I don't think so. No, he was in the second one.
Okay,
yeah, I had thought, but
I got a signed picture when I was a kid from him, and I think it was him as Leonardo. He was at a tournament or some after tournament event or something like that. He was at signed a picture. Him and Chris Casamassa.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
So when the movie started, did you guys cringe? I cringed at the very first thing because I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is a different generation that we're in now. This is 2021.
Oh, when he said to the girl?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. In this day and age, I don't think anybody would create a movie and body shame a woman. So I don't think that would happen nowadays. So when I heard it, I cringed a little bit, because I'm just so used to how things are now.
Right.
They fired the first shot. That's all I'm saying. And I said the same thing. I got yelled at by my wife because I said the same thing.
So you and her had that discussion when
it's the first thing I watched this with my kids the first time.
Okay.
So it was the first one that they seen of this group, and she said something about it, and I said, "What?" They said they called him a dweeb. I was like. And he didn't call nobody fat. He just implied it.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that, Joe. I don't know.
Crazy as it sounds, I was watching this with one of my friends, and he ended up saying it. He heard it, and he goes, "Man, we say that now, we get hit in the face with a frying pan." And I looked at him, right, and I was like, you know what's crazy, man? I was like, the craziest, like, for maybe up until a few years ago, we said within the last 10 years, no one would ever like said nothing about that specific line. Everyone would have just let it be, like would have just let it go. And even when I heard it the first time, when I watched it the first time and I heard it, I was like, oh, like I like even I was like, yeah, like, that was kind of harsh.
So we see we're introduced to Keno at the very beginning of the movie, and he is a pizza delivery boy, and he comes out and he's delivering pizza. Now, when he pulls up to April O'Neil's apartment to deliver the pizza, he sees a couple of vans with some stuff in it. And he just decides, oh, this doesn't look right. I'm going to go investigate. That didn't seem right to me either.
No, that's not right. No one person is going to be like, oh, yeah, I can handle this.
Angel,
not you neither, Bugs.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. You don't understand. Growing up, I actually thought about being a vigilante because I thought
I would believe that.
I do believe it.
I would believe that.
I really was like, because exactly like how he said after he hit him, he goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I know martial arts." Like I really was like at one point in high school, I told myself, even though I got into college, I was like, I don't even want to do this. Like I just want to use my karate to help save people.
Angel.
I thought about being a cop.
Angel, you know who you be? You know who you be? Do you watch Arrow?
Yeah.
Mad Dog.
Yeah.
No, but but at that time in high school, I started watching Arrow like heavy. So I was like, I can do this. And then at one point, not gonna lie to you, I almost called a family meeting and was gonna be like, I have an important decision to tell you. Like,
you're gonna be like you see the movie Kick Ass?
Yeah.
You be better than that kid that started it, but that's
Hopefully.
how that would be, because you'd have a little team behind him.
Yeah,
You'd have like
hopefully.
5 or 6 other people to join them.
But that's not. But no, in all seriousness, if I saw something going down, like I'll be like, wait a minute, hold up, like what's up?
Well, this is my issue with that though, because not only the fact that he decides to, take the law in his hands and stop these guys from robbing, but he just saw a van with stuff in it. Like if I pull up on a block and I'm going into a store and I just see a van with the doors open and some things in it, I'm not going to think something is wrong. He didn't see anybody stealing anything. He didn't see them with the stocking caps over their face. He didn't see any of that. He just saw the van, and then he went downstairs, and then he saw these guys robbing these stores, and he decided that he was going to jump in and try and stop them. And he did okay at first, but then the turtles showed up to help him.
Yeah.
Did you guys like this fight scene at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
I mean, it's fun. It's not super serious, but it's fun. I mean, I think it, especially coming from the last movie where it's a little bit more serious, this one kind of made it a little bit more, where they were confident in what they were doing, and they're just like, hey, we're gonna kick everyone's butt, So
I found it interesting that they did not turn off the lights like they did in the first movie.
Right.
Like they didn't care about being seen. They were like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're getting to this point now where they're just like, whatever. No one's gonna know,
I liked it. I liked it. My only problem is this. Like, be honest. Do you guys really think that those like pantyhose like can change your face and what you look like? I never believed in that.
No.
Distorts it.
Yeah, it kind of distorts it.
I just like when I saw it, I still have never believed in that. I was like, why would you wear that? Like at all?
Okay, so if you had one on, I know what you look like, Angel. So if you put one on, then I can tell that's Angel. But if somebody who does not know you saw you and then they had to give a description to the police, I don't think they'll be able to give it a correct description of who you are. And even if they did catch you and bring you in a lineup, they wouldn't be able to say, well, that's him right there. So
because they can't even tell exactly what your hair really is at all because it's mushed down, and it's just all kinds of stuff like that.
Right. That's a good point.
So the turtles beat up these guys. I used to think that these guys were members of the Foot Clan, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they were
I don't
just.
think so either.
I thought they were trying to like bring back the Foot.
No,
that's later on though.
Yeah, like I said, I used to think that, but after watching this time, I was looking at them. I was like, well, they're not doing any type of karate at all.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They didn't have anything on like the Foot Clan. Like in the first movie, the Foot Clan, the teenagers were stealing stuff, and then the Foot Clan would show up to, take it from them. That was not the case in this movie. And also, what was the time period? Like from the first movie to this one, how long do you think it was?
1 year.
You think it was 1 year?
So they lived in an apartment with her for 1 year?
Yeah, this is the reason why I say this. Not just because of the fact that the movie came out a year later, which blows my mind, actually. But it's honestly just because, like, I just think about it in the sense of, like, I felt like the movie kind of just picked up where everything else left off. To me, it did. It felt like it just picked up because you heard Splinter saying, like, he wasn't going to stay in the house much longer. And I feel like if it was 2-3 years, why would they not go back to the sewer by then?
I don't think it was that long.
No, me neither. I think it was maybe a month, maybe 2 months.
I think it was just a few months.
Yeah. I think it's less than that.
Yeah,
I think it might have been maybe 3 or 4 days to a week. And the only reason I said that is because Shredder was in the garbage still.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
It could have been a couple days.
Yeah, who's gonna be laying in the garbage for a month?
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
You honestly, that was some good detective work. You got me.
So the turtles beat these guys up. They tie them up. They leave the money for Kino, and then they take off. Do you think Kino knew that they lived at April's place at that point in time, or do you
they
think
just wanted the pizza?
And then also, I understand
so.
in this. I understand in this movie where they possibly could have gotten money. April could have given them money, but in the first movie, how did they have money for pizza?
Yeah.
Good
question.
You know,
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna sound like a bit of a stretch. Okay,
All right, let's go.
but I feel like they would. I don't want to say rob the foot, but like
What would you call it?
they
He said they did. They robbed people.
Wait. Do you remember in the original cartoon, Michelangelo had like a party business? Like he would
Oh,
show
that's
up
right. That's
and
right.
do like martial arts, Ninja Turtle party stuff, like as a gag.
And that was the fourth cartoon, the movie that came out like in 2007 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And
But
it
I'm
was
saying like the original cartoons with the party bus and everything, or the Turtlemobile and everything. He used to take that around on like off days.
Yeah, in 2007, 2006, they had another movie come out. It was an animated movie, and what I heard at the time, it was loosely supposed to be connected to these movies. And then in that movie, Michelangelo, he had a job where he would go to parties, birthday parties, and he had a fake big turtle head that he would put on, and he would do things.
I feel like Donatello though is probably the one bringing in the money though. He's the smart guy. He's probably doing some outside like scientist jobs or something. You know what I mean? Come on.
Or credit card fraud.
Or credit card fraud. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like how they gave Donatello more personality in this movie.
He was irritating me. I was like, shut the hell up. Like, and that's another thing. Raphael in this movie, it seemed like Raphael was a lot different in this movie than he was the first movie.
He was calmer.
No, I think he was actually,
He was worse.
Yeah, I think he was actually like, it was like they were trying to add the cartoon version to how he acted, because he was a little bit more silly. But to me, he seemed like a person. You know how sometimes something could be wrong with a person, but they don't want you to know something is wrong, so they're acting extra happy and extra playful. That's how he kind of seemed to me, and I was like, "Is there something wrong? Does he need to sit down in the corner with Splinter? Does he need some counseling?"
I felt like he was trying to go rogue. Like he was always like, and if the whole group went right, he was gonna go left, like every time. He never did like what the group would do.
Well,
I mean,
he's always been like that.
Kino.
I think he's always resented the fact that Splinter made Leonardo the leader.
Yeah.
So I think he don't like taking orders from Leonardo because he thinks he can do it better. He's always been like that in the comics, in the TV shows. Like that's how it's always been. He hates the fact that Leonardo is the leader. Like he feels like he's the better fighter. He's the better thinker. He thinks like, even though, he's a hothead, which is the reson why he wouldn't be put in charge. Yeah.
Right.
And what was up with Leonardo in this movie? For real,
he irritated me.
Yeah, he's kind of
like he was like really sucking up the Splinter. I said, "Oh my god,
that's what he does." He's like,
he's the pet.
I was like, "Take that out your mouth. Take Splinters out your mouth. Just relax, dude." Like, when he ran up on him, was like, "Yes, Master Splinter." I was like, "Come on, calm down."
That's how he always is. That's the only problem I've ever had with Leonardo.
Right. There's got to be a flaw with every character.
So they go back to the apartment, and they're happy, they're having a good time. They got the pizza they're eating, and Splinter is pretty much telling them that they're still ninjas and they still have to stay, in the shadows. Don't expose yourself. And then we go and see Shredder, and we see him in the garbage, and we see his hand come out, so we know that he's still alive. Yeah. And now when we go to the Foot Clan, we see those guys. There's only a handful of foot soldiers.
You know what? You're right. It did. It must have happened. Like the continuation must have happened right after, because if you saw his face, the general, he looked. It looked like it looked like Shredder just got into the garbage. Like he knew he just died. So like he was like upset. Like it didn't look like a year passed, and they're trying. figure
Oh no,
out.
he was losing his mind.
Yeah, it just happened. So you know what? I didn't even realize that till right now. All the times I've watched it, I never realized that. Huh.
Yeah. And then Shredder comes in and lets him know that he's still alive. So what did you guys think of his new helmet? He decided to make it look a little bit sharper.
Yeah. Man.
Whatever. He still looks like a damn can opener.
Yeah, he does.
Go ahead. You got to say something, Jeff?
No, I don't know. I mean, he kind of goes back and forth for me. It's like he was such like a badass in the first one, like this one, he's like trying to be that, but it just kind of, I don't know, it gets a little silly, you know what I mean? But again, compared to the first one, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's real silly compared to the first one.
It is real silly, now not as bad as a cartoon, but I mean, he looks like a complete idiot in the cartoon.
And it's just not as bad as the third movie also.
He kind of
third movie is
he's not even in that, but yeah.
He kind of looked like
no. I mean, just in terms of the whole tone, the whole tone of the movie.
Yeah.
I felt like he kind of looked like I felt like he had like a Prince type outfit on with the helmet. I don't know. The way he looked, like it just looked like he was going to a concert, like he was about to sing.
So later on, we have April. She's interviewing scientists from TGRI, and we
got a new April. We got a new actors.
Now this was another weird situation. There was so there was already a scientist around in the Ninja Turtles. Baxter Stockman. And I always thought when this movie came out, like they would have just had him be in this movie. Like, why create a new character for the same role? That didn't make sense to me, number one. And even with Toka and Razor, I never understood why they created them instead of just having Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah,
I said the same thing.
That never made any sense to me.
I never understood that. And I feel like that's why the new Ninja Turtles, the second movie, try to make it so hard to bring those in.
Actually, I know why they did that. Because for the toys.
Really?
They can have new toys. You know what I mean? And that was one of the main things. I watched the documentary show, The Toys That Made Us or whatever. And they go into all the details of that and why, and how Ninja Turtles blew up and how, many of these shows were started in mind for the toy business. And that's where they can really make a lot of their money. So I think that's really it. Because then if you just kept the same characters, then it's just, kind of the same thing. But this kind of steps it up to they can get new people and new, so.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And they took all my money.
Yeah.
My brother and I would get our allowance. We put it together. It was like, I think we got like $10 or something like that. And we would go to the Kmart up the store and 2 Ninja Turtle action figures, no matter what it was.
Yep.
If we already had all the guys, the good guys, then it was more Foot Clan to beat up.
Yep.
It was crazy. We had all of them, every single one. So they made their money on us.
Yeah, we had all those action figures also. So she's interviewing the professor, and then we see that Shredder has sent one of his foot soldiers to go work for her at the news station, right? Yeah. Now, I would have thought that they would have that character would have had more screen time because he was only in it for a real short period of time, before he revealed himself to be a member of the Foot Clan, And then we see that there have been some sunflowers or something that have gotten bigger, right?
Yeah.
Dandelions.
That's right.
Those big ass fucking flowers.
Yeah.
like that at that point, it looked like it was just more of a prop than anything. It was ridiculous how huge it was.
And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that they should have been bigger.
Yeah, I agree. Because I've seen some that are just that big. Like I don't know if you see. I seen my profile picture. There, I have all those sunflowers in the back. Well, I mean, okay, dandelions or whatever. I guess it's a little different, but still, there's some flowers that big. I think it needs to be bigger.
Well,
the reason go up to like 12 feet tall.
Well, the only reason I said that is because so they didn't know about it. So TGRI had buried some of the canisters that had the ooze in them, right? So they buried them around 15 years ago. And if 15 years, that's only as big as they've gotten. That's why I say that I think they should have been. They should have been bigger. They should have been like tree size.
Yeah.
You know.
They would have found that a while ago.
Yeah.
But that makes it has to be congruent to the turtles being that big. That's the reason why. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, they can't make it tree size because if we're gonna put it like that 15 years, that's how old the turtles were. So if it's a tree size, then that means the turtle will have to be tree size. And the turtles would have like a different genetic makeup than the flower, obviously. So it's gonna get proportion. But yeah, they couldn't.
Okay.
Tree size because
all right, we're getting deep.
So you brought some. So you just made me think of something else. Okay, so since the turtles got exposed to this ooze.
Yeah.
And it took them 15 years to get to the size that they're at. Why was that not the case for Toka and Razor? Like they took
a whole canister just for
I was gonna say they did a whole canister.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. Because remember, Shredder had the canister at the end of the movie. And he showed it to him when Raphael was caught. And he was tied up. Shredder still had the canister, because they were trying to get it from him.
Well, he had several different ones. Come on, man.
No, because remember that was the last one.
Yeah,
that was the last canister. So I was like you guys. I was under the impression that they used that whole canister to make Toka and Razor bigger. But when I saw Shredder with the full canister later on in the movie, I thought, okay, well, the whole thing wasn't used. And then he had another side little canister later for himself, which was extremely stupid.
Yeah.
So
maybe it was a full-grown snapping turtle, and it was a wolf. So maybe they were bigger animals. I don't know.
I mean, they were babies. They said they were babies.
They're babies. I'll never forget that.
So the foot soldier guy, I can't remember his name. No. The guy that was working under April.
I don't remember either.
So he grabbed one of the dandelions and he took it back to Shredder, and Shredder knew, okay, so we need to find out what's going on at TGRI, so we can, hopefully get some of this stuff. The turtles are with April, and they're having a good time cleaning up her house because they had it a complete mess. Shredder saw the news report, and I'm sorry, not Shredder. Splinter saw the news report, and he brought them all to the roof, and he wanted to talk to them, and he let them know that TGRI, this is where we came from, pretty much. This is the canister that had the ooze. So we need to go find out what's going on at TGRI. He says the turtles go to TGRI, and the Foot Clan are there. They're all looking for the canister. The foot soldiers have gotten there first. They got the canister. They got the professor. And I was watching this movie, and I thought, okay, why aren't they gone? Because when the turtles showed up, the foot soldiers and the professor should have been gone. Like, why are they waiting around?
Yeah. Well,
you guys, anything about anything we just talked about?
I really don't know. I mean, maybe it was a split second. Maybe they got lost. Who knows?
I forgot what we were doing. What did we come here for again?
The foot soldiers had Travis's memory. They didn't know what to do.
It's a fun little scene, though. Fun little fight scene.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They had the canister, but they lost it. Now I'm gonna see if you guys noticed this. Did you guys notice that in the movie, Donatello was the only one to use his weapon throughout the whole movie?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. We all know he needs to use his weapon.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was like weird that Michelangelo did not really pull out the nunchucks.
He doesn't need to. He had cold cut. He doesn't need to. Get out there. Listen, after what we saw, what he did in the first one with the chucking battle, He did. Don't talk about Michelangelo now.
I'm not talking about. I'm just saying. Like I thought it was weird. Like they didn't really use their weapons for anything. Only
They never
especially
do.
the fight.
They never do, especially Leonardo and Raphael, because they would kill people.
Well, they did pull them out, and they had them in their hands in the fights in the first movie. They didn't really do that in this movie at all.
That was probably the changes they had to make.
It was probably so.
Yeah.
Probably because this was more of a kid-friendly movie,
right?
And you can't really have,
a side
or swords,
In all seriousness, I actually really thought about the same thing, like how Joe said. Like I didn't think Raphael and Leonardo in any of the movies. I feel like they should never have weapons because, like, realistically, if Leonardo cuts you, like he's gonna take an arm off. He'll like cut your torso, like it's gonna be like a significant damage.
Well, I'm only saying that because they're fighting the Foot Clan, who are also ninjas. You would think there would have been a sweet sword battle or something like that, or you would see Raphael disable one of them with his sai or whatever, or he could have threw his sai. I mean, something creative.
In the third one they do a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
I feel like if he throws his sai, he's killing someone because he's gonna stab him right in the back.
No. I meant like in the first movie, like how he threw it and it turned off the light. He could have thrown it to trip somebody or, anything. They could have used it to, he could have threw it at one of the foot soldiers. It could have caught their shirt, got him stuck to the wall. It could have been anything, any creative way they could have used it. But, I just thought it was a little strange that they didn't have them pull out their weapons at all for really much anything. I know Leonardo, he did pull his swords out at the beginning of the movie and he threw them up in the air against the ceiling. He jumped up. But other than that, he really didn't do anything with his swords.
Right. Well, maybe Donatello using his bow is a little bit like a safer way to introduce the weapon into the movie. Yeah, I figure if a parent wants to look at it, he's hitting someone with a stick. My son can go out and hit someone with a stick the same way. You know what I mean? Like ain't no harm, no foul. Now if I
didn't really do anything.
If my son sees Leonardo copying someone, you give him a butter knife, he's gonna try and the difference. That's why I say that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Turtles pretty much lose that fight and they end up going back to April's apartment and they're telling her that they gotta go. They gotta find another place since the foot they're coming back. They're probably gonna be looking for us. We need to take off and find our place. Kino comes back.
Yeah.
And he's bringing a pizza, and I think he's doing something a little illegal. If somebody orders a pizza, you just can't just say, "Well, that person's not home, and I'm just going to go give this pizza to somebody else." Like I would think that the boss would say, "Bring the pizza back here," or something. Do you think somebody really ordered a pizza from April, or do you think he was just lying?
He was lying.
Okay.
Probably so.
Right now, I'll tell you right now. When I used to work at a restaurant, if you didn't come and get your food within 20 minutes, that food was gone.
Yeah.
And that's not like me eating it. Like the restaurant itself would be all right. They're not here. Like we either throw it out or someone eat it or put it in the back, whatever the case it is. So even if someone did order it, if he knocked 3 times, you didn't answer. What's he gonna do? Stand in the hallway the whole time? The last movie, if you stay in the hallway, you may come across 4 turtles. You don't want to do that. It's dangerous at April O'Neil's household. You can't do that. It's dangerous over there.
So he sees Raphael's foot. He goes over. He stomps it. The turtles all come out. They're ready to kill him. And then he sees Splinter and he faints.
Splinter was getting the hot sauce.
Hey, let me tell you something right now. Every time I saw Splinter, all I thought about was G's.
I'm gonna eat you.
All I thought about was Gene saying, "I'm gonna eat you."
Splinter was, you messed up, boy.
And I might as well just skip right now because he should have did that again. He should have did that again. You remember because when the Turtles went to go have the final battle at the end of the movie, Splinter and Kino are sitting there meditating, and he gets frustrated. He wants to leave, and Splinter told his ass, like, "Stay here. Like, you cannot go fight." And he said, "Well, you can't stop me." That's what I would have looked up if I was Splinter. I was like, don't make me eat you. Like, just calm down. I had the situation with another little boy before. So please don't make me eat you, Keno. Just sit down, meditate with me. Like what? Like really? What was Keno gonna do?
Man.
What was he gonna do?
Nothing.
Yo, oh god,
the splinter, nothing. No, but I didn't like that he was. We're skipping ahead, but I didn't like that he was holding Keno back from fighting. Man, he took down the whole Foot Clan and everything by himself in the whole training.
What is Ernie Reyes gonna do against the Shredder? And then on top of that,
shredded.
He turned into Shredder. He turned into
All right. Well, listen. There's a lot of other. He could have done the Foot. He could have messed with the Foot Clan. While
No, bull.
Listen, it's Ernie Reyes Jr. All right, we need more Ernie Reyes Jr. kicking, not talking.
He went against people that weren't even the Foot Clan. If that was the case, he should have took all those dudes out.
True.
So if that's the case, he had nothing for them. Like at that point, I felt like the Turtles told Keno, like, listen, this is a grown man's game. I think it's time for you just to sit back. Let us go and do our thing, and that's what will happen.
Well, Keno was probably saying, like, look, man, you guys are only maybe a year or two difference from my age, and if you guys can fight, I can fight too.
Yeah, right.
True.
If that was the case, then he wouldn't have needed Raphael's help to get into the.
You know what? Splinter should have said, "Hey, Ernie, save it for Surf Ninjas."
Because he gets a lot bigger in Surf Ninjas. He's more cut up in Surf Ninjas.
You're gonna listen. This is our moment. You're gonna have your moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have.
So the Turtles decide they're gonna go find a place. When they are in the sewer, Raphael's frustrated because he wants to go find the Foot Clan. He's ready to go back and fight Leonardo, and Leonardo wants to find a place first. And I was on Leonardo's side, like, yeah, let's find a place, someplace safe first before you guys run out to go find the Foot Clan. Raphael leaves, and the other three turtles do find an underground subway that had been abandoned. And I was thinking, like, man, that's gonna be a lot to clean up because that place looked like no one had been there since the 1920s. That's what it looked like.
Right.
Yeah.
It was cool though.
So this is gonna sound weird, and I'm not saying this is true, but I think that was like that underground tunnel that FDR used to use whenever he used to. Every people couldn't see he had polio. I feel like that was like they found that secret passageway. Sounds really crazy, but it just looked like, why would a subway just be somewhere? It hasn't been touched since like the 1920s.
And it was under the sewer.
It was like under the sewer, and then in that area, it almost like, I mean, we see in the third one, it was like if you put on some light, you could actually like live there. It looked pretty good. Like you clean it up.
Okay, Bugs. I'm not from the East Coast. I've never even been in a subway. So since you're from the East Coast and you're familiar with subways, is there the subways, are they under the sewer or are they on top of the sewer?
So in New York, to be real with you, I actually get a fear. It's underneath the street.
Okay.
So it's not underneath the sewer. It can't be. Like maybe. And again, it is true. Like, this is real. In New York, there is a secret passage tunnelways that FDR used on the subway, so people couldn't see that he was in a wheelchair. That's like a real thing. But if you're walking in New York, let's say you're walking like down Times Square, if you look, there's always. Have you guys know where like those grates are? Like, there's like grates. It's kind of like a sewer grate. You can see down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you feel the ground shake, if you're walking on it, look down. And you'll see the subway run right underneath your feet.
Okay.
Real with you, I have a fear of it because I always say, like, damn, what if I step on this and this shit falls? Like I can't see how far it is. It's got to be at least 20, 30 feet. And I'm falling. And then what if a train comes at the same, like, all like that weird Final Destination stuff. But, but it's not underneath a sewer because then if there's like a sewer break, how are they going to get through? You got to shut the subway down. You shut one subway down in New York. You shut that down. You lose like half of the whole entire state will go into a state of emergency. You wouldn't even know what to do.
Okay. So they go and they get Splinter. Now, meanwhile, Kino and Raphael are together, and Kino is going to sneak into the Foot Clan. Now, this was his plan earlier when he met the Turtles and Splinter. He wanted to do that, and Splinter did not. Splinter wasn't really happy with that idea. Raphael thought it was a good idea. So now these two are together, and that's what they're going to do. Kino does outlast anybody else, and it seems like he is the only one out of the group of guys that went to the tryouts for the Foot Clan. And I was thinking, like, where did all these Foot Clan soldiers come from? That's what I was thinking. Because at the beginning of the movie, there was only a handful of them, like maybe 6 to 10. And now all of a sudden, there's a bunch of them.
Well, let me ask you guys, did you guys like that aspect, the tryout for the Foot Clan? Did you like it?
Not really. It was stupid.
I liked it a lot. I actually... To be honest with you, I felt like that was like
with the bells. You think all of those other guys did that?
No. I like the bell part.
Their job is to steal.
True. Nah, but to be real with you, like, I don't know about you, Jeff. I felt like that was like the closest thing to karate out of the whole entire movie.
Agreed. That's why I like that scene.
I felt like when I saw him wear some macho hand pads and foot pads, I was like, oh, this
okay. So that part, yes, I like that part. The sparring, yes, I was talking about the bells. Like you guys, you have to take all the bells, then you can't make a noise or you fail. And I'm like, I know all these foot soldier guys didn't do that.
Yeah. No, I never liked that part, but
I thought I thought it was dope just to see him just standing there with the bells. Like I thought that part was
dope. It was cool, but like as a trial, like that just kind of took me out. Like when I think about like how whack the foot soldiers are, like they don't do anything, they never win. So you mean to tell me like they can do that? Then they should be able to at least have a fighting chance against the Turtles, and they never do.
Yeah, they never do. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. After that, they decide that they call Donatello calls April and tells her they found a place, and they went back and they got Splinter, and they're pretty much cleaning up. Leonardo's a little upset because he can't find Raphael. They don't, so now they feel like they have to go find Raphael instead of going out to find the Foot Clan. Raphael and Kino, he completes the trials with Raphael's help, gets all of the bells off of that dummy, and he's going to be a member of the Foot Clan. When they're walking around the junkyard, they find out where the foot soldiers are, their headquarters. Raphael sees a Splinter, and he wants to go investigate. That's when they should have booked up.
You mean Shredder?
Yes, I'm sorry, Shredder. Yes, that's when they should have been out. If I would have saw Shredder, I would have been like, okay, I saw him. I don't need to get any type of verification. I know what I saw. They should have got out real quick.
Kind of saw like a shadow or whatever.
I hear you, but I wouldn't.
We know Raphael, man. Raphael think, oh, I got this, man.
I thought it was pretty cool that it wasn't a long time. Like they didn't stand around. Like once he saw Shredder, he told Kino he wanted to get a closer look. Kino was talking a little bit, and he said, "Quiet before we get caught." And then that's when they showed up. So there wasn't a lot of time really to even get away or anything.
Yeah, that was good.
They have a fight. Kino, he does okay. Raphael tells him to get away and go get the guys. And Raphael was holding his own for a little while, but it was just entirely too many foot soldiers, and they jump on them and they have him, and they tie him up and they have him captured. Kino runs and he goes get the guys. They eventually come back and they try to rescue Raphael. I kind of like that one little part when Leonardo kept on saying this is a little too easy, or it's a little too quiet, and then Michelangelo says a little too Raphael. Like I like that part. Like that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, me too.
Little jokes. Now another thing that got on my nerves when they got caught. Splinter shows up to help rescue them because they got caught in the net. He has his bow and arrow. He shoots the bow and arrow, and they get out. Right? I'm okay with that.
No, I'm not.
You're not okay with that? Okay.
They should have you're telling me they didn't land on that big contraption. I don't care how much they were away. I mean, somehow they're gonna pop. Yeah, they're not gonna pop out straight. I don't know, man.
To me, you might as well. I mean, Leonardo's not going to pull out his sword for some reason to cut.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. Like, what the heck? I mean,
that would have been a perfect opportunity to pull the swords out. But what I was going to say was, okay.
Oh yeah, coming through.
yeah.
Come on. Good point, Gene.
Yeah, Gene.
All right, my back.
We hear your voice.
Okay. Oh, y'all heard me?
No.
No, now.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry for the technical difficulties, people. Okay, so Splinter saw Shredder. Now, this is his enemy. And you would think, okay, I didn't kill him. He's not dead. Let me go fight. Splinter's like, all right, I'm going home. I'm about to go get some sushi. I was like, I'm out. I'm going to let my sons handle this. Right?
I guess he's at that point. Just kind of like,
I'm retired, huh?
Yeah, I'm retired. I'm done.
So they get down. They're going to fight. And then they call out Toka and Razor to come fight. And the turtles pretty much get beat up. Toka and Razor are too big, they're too strong, but they at least rescued the professor and they got him out of there. They jump down the sewer and then they take him to their new hideout.
Yeah.
You guys got anything about any of that I just went over?
I just didn't like how surprised he was to see the turtles walking and talking. I feel like it was a long time for him to start asking a bunch of questions.
Oh, the professor?
Yeah, he was just pissed with that, man.
Taking it all in.
I wanted to just be like, yo, man, just shut up, man. You obviously made 2 big ass babies. Like, you're pissing me off. I was like, dude.
Well, but you got to think about this too. The turtles were more intelligent than Toka and Razor, so he hadn't experienced he hasn't experienced that before.
Correct.
Yeah, they should be intelligent. 15 years. We should be.
But he didn't. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Do you think he should have been surprised?
I mean, a little bit. He's, this ooze that they had is causing all kinds of problems. So that's what he's looking at. He's like, over here you got intelligent turtles and a rat, and then he's like, over here you got a power hungry, crazed maniac making weapons out of
a big
things, and then you got dandelions. So it's like, son of a bitch,
So they take the professor back down to the lair. They come up with a plan to make Toka and Razor go back to reverse the effects of the ooze.
Yeah.
They decide to come up with. They take the solution. They're going to make them into ice cubes. They're going to put them in donuts and give them to Toka and Razor. And they go back to the junkyard, and that's what they do. I really would have, if I was one of the turtles, I would have been nervous that the one donut that they both ate wasn't enough.
Yeah. Right.
Because they had a bunch. Now I was just wondering, like, how did Toka, or I don't know which was which. I think that was Toka, the wolf.
The wolf, Toka, yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering, like, how did he know that there was something in that donut? Because he looked at them, and then smashed it, and then opened it up, and then he saw the cube. I was thinking, like, maybe he smelled something was a little off with it.
He's getting intelligent. He's getting intelligent, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days.
Yeah, the speed of things are just moving.
Yeah.
So they fight, and the turtles are getting thrown all over the place. They're getting beat up, and until they go into the nightclub. And
wait. I'm just thinking about this right now. How are they like in some big industrial park and all of a sudden there's a nightclub?
I know. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
What is this nightclub?
I don't know.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know about you guys.
With vanilla ice.
I'll tell you right now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, without a doubt, like of all karate movies, that was one of the dopest scenes I've ever seen. And I'm saying, like, that song caught actual fire. Like,
Oh yeah.
Like, outside of the movie, people actually like that song from Vanilla Ice. Like,
that was his only other hit.
Yeah.
I ain't like it.
I
didn't like it.
Of course, the music guy doesn't like it.
I didn't like it. I almost definitely didn't like it, but I was like, all right, it is what it is.
For the longest time, I used to always be like, damn, man, what are the odds that they just go into a nightclub now? Now they're seen by everybody. People think it's a costume, but they're actually kicking ass. And
yeah, that's another thing. Like, I would have been out. I would have been out. I'm like, all right, it's time to go. I'm not about to hang out. I mean, I even if it was all choreographed, like I'm trying to dance, I'm trying to have fun, I'm trying to get some numbers, I'm trying to go home. Like you messing it up with this fight. Like, what does this fight have to do with anything tonight?
Hey, I'm real though. Gene would have looked and Gene would have said, "Damn, they're about to eat me. I'm about to be out of here, man."
Hell yeah, big ass wolf coming in. Yeah. So they fight. The Angel song is going on. Ninja rap that's going on. The Turtles are showing off. I ain't gonna lie. We got a lot of one steps that we created from that scene.
Yeah.
No, not the dancing. Not that. Not the dancing. The karate one steps. We took our different things and put it together for our one steps for our demonstrations, which was cool. The professor figures out what's wrong. How come the anti-mutagen isn't working? They have to give them CO2 in order to reverse the effects of the mutagen.
Or to speed it up, I think.
Yeah, speed it up. So they get fire extinguishers and they spray them down with it. And I was thinking, like, all of this is going on. Why are the foot soldiers waiting? Like,
yeah, I never understood that. Either.
Why, they waited until Toka and Razor were done, and then the foot soldiers came in, and they just got beat up also.
Well, they thought the Toka and Razor were going to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
They're just going to sit back and chill.
So, the foot soldiers that took down Raphael, it wasn't all of them that took him down. It was a good percentage of them. I would say maybe about 7 to 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot more than that. So I was just thinking, like, how come each 7, they could each say, let's divide them up and say, okay, you 10 foot soldiers take care of Michelangelo, you 10 foot soldiers take care of Raphael, you 10 take care of Leonardo, and, they could have been done.
Hey, they're not that smart, man. Come on. Come on.
So they beat those guys up, and then Shredder has finally had enough, and he comes in. And they end up blowing him out with a speaker.
Hey, give Keno some love. He came and did the spin hook kick. All right?
Yeah. He came in.
Saved that girl.
Saved the girl. Knocked the canister out of Shredder's hand. Shredder still had a small little vial of ooze. Yep. And when he got blew out of the nightclub, I guess he drunk it himself. Yep. And it made him really, really big. And so now he's Super Shredder. So they see him. Yeah,
he turned into Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. That was Kevin Nash that played him.
Yep.
And he knocked down, whatever that was. It was like a pier almost.
Yeah.
He knocked it down on himself and killed himself.
That was the only thing that I didn't like about it, like the way it ended,
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, could have been a little bit better. Like, fight Shredder or something. They didn't even ever fight him. Yeah.
Well, they couldn't beat up the regular Shredder. They damn sure wasn't going to beat up Super Shredder.
Tomorrow there was no way that they were going to even have a chance. No way. No way.
Not at all.
And that Shredder looked like he wasn't going to just let them, like, give him a good solid punch to a solar plexus. It was like, I'm going to rip the board.
Nah, he would have ate him. He would have said turtle soup. He would have ate him. He would have had some turtle legs. He would have deep fried them. But he just it was all wood. I'm thinking, like, as big as this Shredder is, he's a Super Shredder. He's just knocking wood on himself. He just knocked down some wood. Like, he should have just been able just to throw it off of him and got up like, I'm still alive. But
I mean, he did it. Hey. The garbage was enough for him. He couldn't get out of this. It was enough.
So Shredder dies. That's the end of him. The Turtles go home and they celebrate with Splinter, and that is the end of
Splinter.
This movie.
Finds out though that they got that they were cloned.
It's in the newspaper.
Yeah,
but that's stupid too because it just happened. Like it's like right. How does he have a newspaper already?
He knows some people.
They just stay out all night and came home the next morning?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Oh,
they hung out at the club, just dancing, having a good time.
Think so.
Listen, maybe April gave him an advance copy.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, this movie, I would give this movie a B minus. It was okay. It had its moments. Like I said, I used to look at this movie for the karate moves, just so we can incorporate it into our one steps. So I give it a B minus. I didn't like all the extra silliness in the movie, but other than that, it was all right. What about you guys? What do you guys give it?
I give it an A. I love it. It's one of my favorites, and
So you
I enjoyed it a
fisted.
lot.
You're gonna fist the movie, huh? You're fisting the
Yeah.
turtles.
Sure.
There you go. Go ahead, Bugs. What do you give it?
I give it an A minus, definitely. To be honest with you, I would, like I told you, it's my favorite one. I would give it a perfect. It's just how we all said, just like the silliness. I don't like to watch. This is gonna be a big thing for me when we eventually do like the Three Ninjas. I don't like watching movies that give sound effects when you hit someone. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Jeff, but like when you punch and it's like boing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that
hate
either.
that, yeah.
I don't like that either.
At that point, like no joke, like that makes me, even as a kid, I never liked it because I was like, oh,
No.
this sucks. Like I'm gonna shut this off.
But
So
they're doing that for the non-martial artists.
I know, but
I'm with you,
Yeah.
Bugs. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
for me, like that was a big reason why I was kind of like, nah, I don't like. I just don't like hearing all the sound effects with it. It's too much.
What do you give it, Jeff? What grade you give it?
I'm around the same, A minus. You know,
Okay.
for me, it's just an iconic movie, and I watched it so many times. It was fun, but I just remember picking it apart as a kid, be like, "Oh, this is dumb. Why they do this?" Why they do that? But then I'd watch it, 5 more times afterwards. So I mean, it's one of those ones where you can pick it apart on, oh, it doesn't make sense, but it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
And it did so much for sport karate people to really launch them to really want to start doing stunts. Because really, this is one of the first movies where a lot of people kind of started going towards that. Also, Pat Johnson was in the movie. He was a fight choreographer for Karate
saw
Kid. He was
that.
also one of the ones for this. So yeah, I mean, there's just it did a lot for us, to want to do martial arts. So
Okay. So that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. Next week we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3: Turtles in Time. I'm gonna tell you, like,
That one sucks.
yeah, and you know what, man? From my memory, like, I don't think I hated the movie, but I think what I did not like more than anything about that movie was the costumes, because they completely switched up the turtle costumes in that movie, and they just didn't look right to me.
I didn't like that movie because they had the turtles on a scroll from the 1600s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, what is going on?
But it was a legend, man. It was a story they told people.
Yeah.
Well, we can get into that next week. All right, so let's wrap it up. You guys got any closing remarks for this episode?
Nah, I mean, usually my closing remarks is always the same thing, kind of like
Jeff, what do you guys got going on in Inside Scoop tomorrow?
Tomorrow, just Alex and I are going to just do a lot of just kind of talking about the sport. And he says he has a lot of questions for me as far as about forums and where we're going to go, where we see the future of it and maybe some things. So we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. We may have, we're not going to have a guest this week. We'll have the other, but we want to do a couple with just us for these next few. So we have a lot of stuff that we've been doing the past few weeks. So there's still so many things to address from all the different people we've had on our show. So we got a lot to talk about and the sport and where we're going to go with it. And so,
all right,
pretty cool.
Sweet. Two things. Actually, I got to say two things. First thing is, thanks for the shout out last week, Jeff. So like if I don't know if anyone heard it. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys go back and listen to it when they had Jesse Ray. Like I said before, man, Jesse honestly gave me a shot. For people that don't know like how VFT worked, the very first one, I literally got called at like midnight, 1 a.m. and was asked if I could fight in 2 weeks, and I just took it.
Yeah.
And I took it hoping. I took it saying to myself, regardless of what happens, it's gonna set me up for future things. And obviously, like it worked out. So I'm forever like in debt to Jesse for that, just because he gave me my first shot when no one else did. And it's just funny. I'm actually gonna go train with him on Thursday. But the second thing I want to say is, yo, man, Jeff, I want you to come up with questions to ask Alex about why he thinks that kicking list he made a year ago is still solid to this day. Because that kicking list, I almost threw myself. I never heard someone make a kicking list and then say, at number 5, I'm gonna put myself. Alex.
Yeah, I know. I know.
All right. So make sure you guys listen to Inside Scoop tomorrow with Alex and Jeff. Joe, you got anything?
Listen, download, listen, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell everybody.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And go Ninja, go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll see you guys next week. Director, play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.